Seattle, meanwhile, is about to play the Mets in New York, and it's right before their schedule finally gets tough. They play Cincinnati and Tampa Bay right afterwards. And since they're going to New York, they decided to get together as a team and dress up in Run DMC outfits. From Julio Rodriguez's Instagram story, here is manager Scott Service trying to rally the gang.
Unbelievable month. You guys have been awesome. Okay, we got a big month ahead of us. Keep having fun. Julio brought this idea to me about a week or two ago. I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Okay, and it's about having a good time, keeping it loose. No problem with you guys, but we dropped the Run DMC, and you guys know anything about Run DMC. It's, late 80s, early 90s, so I made a few calls, and I found Rev Run. So what do we got?
Julio Rodriguez rocking the Run DMC, got the whole crew rocking it, bringing the energy to New York City. This is Rev Run. Keep repping, keep rocking, keep rolling. Y'all are on fire. Peace.
Now, first off, how many of those Mariners players actually know who Run DMC is? And this is coming from someone who barely knows who Run DMC is, but at the very least is aware of Run DMC. How many Mariners players, I would imagine the oldest of which is maybe my age, 34, 35 years old. Run DMC is before my time. Like, I know that.
You don't think that 22-year-old from the Dominican Republic, Julio Rodriguez, was like, I really love their collaboration with Aerosmith?
Well, here's the thing, Sean. Now, other countries sometimes are pop culturally, 10 to 15 years behind the United States of America. Sometimes.
I mean, he was still born in 2001.
Well, damn.
Julio Rodriguez was born in this millennium.
Run DMC's late 80s. Is it possible that 2001 is when it made its first appearance, Run DMC, in the Dominican Republic?
It's possible.
The internet probably changed things a little bit. It's possible, though. So that's the first question I have. The second question I have is this. Is a themed getup that you're wearing to some sort of game, a la the Texans Letterman jackets in 2012, is this like wearing the Texans Letterman jackets, meaning that you're about to doom your season? A serious question. Because my first reaction was that, and then I noticed every single other person online was saying the same thing as me. All of the Houston people that I know were like, oh my God, they're Letterman jacketing themselves. This is great. The collapse is imminent. And it might be as simple as them just having fun. 2021, the Astros all dressed up as Zach Greinke for a day. The Orioles are dressing weird, but the Rangers wore real Letterman jackets and they lost. Is it a stretch? Is it a reach to say that the Mariners dressing up as Run DMC to go to New York City? Is it a reach to say that this means that all of a sudden they're about to go Letterman jackets, have Bill Belichick tell a reporter before the game, tell Doc Rivers before the Patriots-Texans game on Monday Night Football. Was it Monday Night Football? Back in 2012.
It might have been Sunday night.
One or the other. Is this Belichick telling Doc Rivers we're going to absolutely murder them because he knew about the Letterman jacket thing? And then they did. It was 42-14. It wasn't even that close. I think it was 28-0 in the first quarter. I remember watching it there and actually cackling because I remember everyone had been telling me, oh, the Patriots are going to lose. And I'm like, yeah, sucks to suck, Texans fans, huh? And in that moment, I think that everyone in sports should realize that you got to be very careful when you start to get a little bit too full of yourselves. And I understand the idea of having fun, but there is a month left in the year. And, going to New York, you got to win this series. You got to win all three because the Mariners' schedule is going to get difficult. I feel like if they don't sweep this series, there's a much greater chance of the other teams in the division, Houston, Texas, actually catching them. I don't think Texas is dead, but the Letterman jacket sure is not helping them. I think they've cursed themselves a little bit. Is this, Sean Mapes, do you think this qualifies as Letterman jacket adjacent?
I think it's more, if we're just stacking like Letterman jacket from the Texans, Letterman jacket from the Rangers, I mean, that obviously goes hand in hand. Like, that's not a leap at all to link those two things. This one's probably like another step down from that, where it is a little bit more like themey. It's more of like a theme day than like we're all gonna, what was even the thought? I forget what the thought behind. I know it was like J.J. Watt and Connor Barwin and like those guys.
They thought they'd look cool.
God, that's so bad. I thought it was maybe like some like, we're trying to, bring the Friday Night Lights energy to, some sort of like get back to our roots kind of thing. But I think that this is not quite that. Also, though, it might look like it because the Mariners just won 21 games in the month of August, which is the most that they've ever won in any month in their entire history.
Including the year that they won 116 games and set the major league record.
Yeah, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that they come down to earth a little bit, that they maybe don't win 20 of their like 25 games in a month.
But it's more based on their schedule getting tougher than this themed costume party that they did.
No one's going to be that hot for that long. And so this could be kind of the beginning of the end kind of thing. Like you said, the Astros Zach Greinke thing from, what was that? That must have been 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That to me is like the least of the offenses. Because it's like, that's more like razzing a teammate kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's more of like playing a prank on someone.
The Orioles had a themed costume the other day as well.
Did they? I saw that their catcher, Rutschman, was like wearing overalls or something.
Yeah, I have a thread like of all of these themed costume days, and I'm wondering, is this adjacent? And as someone who loves a costume party or two, no, I'm not a furry. As someone who loves a costume party or two, like, I appreciate this to an extent, but there is a degree of perhaps feeling a little bit too loose, considering you never done anything. Like, you technically haven't really ever made the playoffs. Like, they're a second wild card team or a third wild card team, but they had to play the fake round before they got in. They're like those teams in the NCAA tournament that get the play-in game.